we are at Wizard World in Chicago, Illinois, and I have Ross and Tommy, directors of the movie Hell and Back. Could you tell me a little bit about yourselves, sirs?
Well, I grew up in Chicago, so this is really exciting to be back here at my home. I started my career here at Second City, directing, and at the time, I worked with Bob Odenkirk, who ended up being in this movie.
Really?
He plays the devil, so our roots go way back to when we first started out together at Second City. So I sort of went from there to Saturday Night Live and sort of was off and running.
Very cool.
Yeah, hi, I'm Ross. I've been doing animation for about 20 years, and the idea of working with Tommy on this movie was really exciting, that we could take our strengths and combine them into one. And I've done all kinds of work with, I used to work at ILM for a little bit, and a lot of model backgrounds in production design and art director. And then I've been directing for about 5 years now, doing various animation and stuff like that.
Very cool. Now, as directors of a still movie like this, still animation...
Stop motion.
Stop motion, excuse me. Thank you, sir. Stop motion animation. How's it like to work with the actors?
They're very temperamental, those puppets. I've had so many walk off the set. It's really awkward.
I can imagine.
Well, the beauty is they just wait when you take lunch breaks. They just hang out.
Yeah.
They don't really bitch too much. So, the interesting thing about a movie like this and all animation is that it's multiple performances. So you've got the performance of the actor, and then you've got the performance of the animator, and the animator is an actor through motion. And so what Tommy and I try to do is tee up those performers, the animators, with the best material possible, to bring an inanimate object to life with soul and being, and to feel like they're living right in that moment.
Yeah. I mean, you have basically two actors when you do a stop motion film. You have the voice actors, like Danny McBride and Susan Sarandon and Mila Kunis, T.J. Miller, and of course Nick Swartz, and all the other cast, all our friends, our comics, who are in the movie. And but then the other half, as Ross is saying, are the animators, and they control the behavioral nuance and expressiveness of the character. So normally you would say, if you were directing Danny McBride, you would say, maybe throw the line away or try this, but you wouldn't say, and then move your arm this way so it bends just at this angle, Danny. It's just like he naturally, as a human, understands how to move his body.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's
you can't direct him like that. You get slapped.
Yeah. So not that I want to direct him like
exactly.
that, but it's really crucial that the body moves the same and expresses the same attitude that the voice actor does, because it starts with the voice, and you really want to. You have it all work from there. You want it to fit Susan Sarandon, you want it to fit Danny McBride or Bob Odenkirk.
Right. Do you videotape them while you're doing the voice?
That's a very good question, and we do, because the animators can look at to clue in some little quirks and behavior nuances. It all depends, though, because like we have humanoid characters in this movie, but we also have demons, and they're not so human-based, so maybe their human characteristics maybe aren't as applicable to the behavioral nuance that you would glean from just videotaping an actor in the booth.
Yeah, and the great thing about animation, to add on that, is sometimes you go counter to the voice, and in a moment where that's where the animator will direct them, and the animator will be like, God, I feel like not even playing into this at all. And then you see it played back, and it's hilarious because it's actually not what a normal person would do, and it catches you off guard and builds in that other layer of comedy.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So, do you actually get to interact with the actors while they're doing it?
You mean the voiceover?
The voice actors.
Yeah. We do them in a booth. Typically, the most fun is when you get somebody like Nick and Danny in the booth together.
Oh, that has to be insane.
It's fireworks. It's amazing.
They're good friends, and they've worked together before in movies and stuff.
And, John Farley and Paul F. Tompkins, like
Hossein, just everyone.
And then you have to match the still motion, stop motion images to the voices.
Well, the process would be you take those voiceover recordings, cut them together in what is called a radio play, which is an old-timey term
Right.
for
Yeah.
putting the story together with the scenes, and then from there you go to storyboards, and then from there, which is just the single frames, and then from there it'd be animation. You launch a shot.
Yeah, you try to build in any comedy you can with that animatic. Make it as bulletproof as possible. But then it's the same equivalent of our actors. It's the same. Sorry, I'll bring it back. It's the same equivalent of when we're in a booth with actors in the script. The actor looks at the script, they give us the lines, and then they'll plus it. And often with the storyboards, we'll look at it with the animator, and we'll have a session before every shot. We'll talk about it, and then there's that moment where they're like, "Yeah, you know what? I really know what to do," and you have to trust in that moment that they're going to embody that moment and deliver something a little bit unforeseen, a little bit off script, so to speak. And then so you kind of have, our movie is a lot of improv actors, which is really fascinating for stop motion, because stop motion is so rigid and so planned.
Right.
You know?
I was wondering about that.
It's something that typically a lot of actors actually don't love animation, because when it comes to the script, everything is taken into account for, and sometimes if they go off script, which they know how to do, they know how to plus a moment, they kind of get put back in the cage. And Tommy and I, we realized, look, our cast is so talented in this type of comedy, so let's let it run as much as possible. And it was our job to kind of rein it into the story, not necessarily rein them in. We would let it all, the magic happen, and then once the session was over, we would go back into the edit and try to figure out, okay, that's gold. Clearly that wasn't the way we were going to go, but that doesn't mean we're not going to go that way.
Yeah.
Still can come out pretty amazing.
Oh yeah.
And you've got that much talent.
Yeah. The talent, the cast is just ridiculous. And Mila, you know, people don't really think, I mean, she's been in some comedies, but she's such a talented actress across the board, and she's so adaptable. When we had her in the booth with Danny, you know, she would be self-deprecating. She's like, I don't know, I'm not funny. And we would be on the ground, you know, laughing. Like, she's really, really talented, really funny. And then, of course, Susan Sarandon has amazing comedy chops. And Danny and Bob. But Bob's the most exciting thing for me, because I was such a huge fan of Bob, and when he agreed to do it, Tommy, you know, has a relationship. I think he just grounded the movie so much because he is the devil, so it really kind of gave it like a serious grounding.
Yeah, he's like a bad CEO in hell.
Yeah.
I can do the job better than he can, so they kind of rebel against him. It's like your boss. He's your boss that you don't like. That you're like, I can do that.
And he doesn't like being the boss. You know, it's not really his.
Yeah, he's wrought with insecurity, and he's not a devil we've seen before. And you know, and again, the other thing that's really exciting about this is it's an aggressive R movie, and you don't usually see that in stop mo. It's almost always family fare, you know. And so the juxtaposition of something we're used to seeing, like the old Rankin Bass, Frosty the Snowman, and Rudolph, you know, to see those kinds of stop motion characters behaving in vile ways and saying awful things, it's kind of funny, the juxtaposition, you know. So, but it's all done with, you know, really great. These animators were so good, just such great artists, and great at what they do. But they're very eccentric, you know.
I can imagine.
Yeah, they'll wear pajamas and listen to Edith Piaf while they animate for 12 hours in a dark room alone. You know. So we had one guy would yell at the puppets if he wasn't happy with. I how it was going in there.
We'd
just
bring
hear,
people
you'd hear them
by.
yelling. Yeah, people would be on tours, they'd be yelling.
They'd be like, is he all right in there? Yeah, no, he's just wrestling through a shot.
So I always describe, Ross and I, our collaboration is like he brought the artistry to the film and I brought the dick jokes.
Oh my.
I think a little bit more than that, but just to talk about the talent, we were able to get, the really neat thing is stop motion is a very niche group of people.
Right.
And I've been in it long enough to know or heard of pretty much anyone in it around the world. And so we were at a time during this movie that the most talented people in the world we'd call them up and they'd say, yeah, I want to work on this thing. And so we had Misha Klein, who had worked on Coraline and done amazing work. He was the animation director. And
Kyle Aronson.
Yeah, Kyle Aronson was production designer. The movie happened for everybody in a place in their career that they just wanted to do something different and special. And that's I think the big asset of this movie is it's different. You haven't seen a stop motion movie with aggressive R-rated humor.
So, gotta ask, how many people were doing the puppetry during the scenes?
All totaled, I would think we had about 100 artists working on, we had Jeanette Beatty, costume designer. She had a team of people. We had at least, at one point, 20 animators. We had about 25 to 28 stages at one time. And then all the sets, all the props, everything. The thing about stop motion is everything is built right there. You can't do it anywhere else. You can't ship it out. This is an American, not to be patriotic, but this is an American-made movie.
You can be patriotic.
Yeah.
It's made in the USA.
I will be patriotic. It's a complete American-made movie.
And the puppets were all born in the USA.
Yeah, they were all born in most in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
most transplants.
LA babies, huh?
Yeah.
But so we had about 100 artists all total working, for a couple of years on this.
Very cool. Now, I like to offer my interviewees the opportunity to tell something weird and wonderful about themselves their fans might not know about. Got anything interesting you'd like to share?
Yeah. I guess the weird, wonderful thing is I have no fans.
You have no fans?
Yeah,
You have more
believe
fans
that.
than I do.
I heard you reference fans, and I don't know one. So that would be my story.
That's not true. If you don't have any fans, I have minus. I got negative. A weird. You mean about the movie or
About yourself, about the movie?
Jeez. Well, I guess the weirdest thing is like Tommy and I were the oddest two people to come together to make this movie. And the beauty of something like that, like we didn't know each other prior and just knew of each other's work. And then when we came together, it was one of those working relationships where we were married. I mean, we were in it for a long time in the edit room and everything. And we worked in a way that now we're friends, and we've kind of created this really deep.
We're friends because we recently got a divorce.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay.
We're no longer
just
married.
friends now.
Yeah, now just friends.
We're downgraded. But when you take
But now you can.
when you take two people that it can go either way. You take two people that you wouldn't think would get along in a room, and it could be chaos and it could be horrible. But what happened was Tommy and I were able to bring other assets to each other's work that created a bigger whole, a much better whole than us individually.
Very cool. So, do you have a website for the movie? Facebook fan page?
Corey's got all that. I don't. I should know that actually.
To my knowledge, it's helenbackmovie.com.
Helenbackmovie.com. Go check it out.
Excellent. And thank you two gentlemen so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
And from Chicago, Illinois, and the Wizard World, this has been Weird Reviews News Show. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Weird.